Hello, third graders. Today we get to pick our next read aloud. So they're going to need to be a bit shorter because we don't have that much left to third grade, which is crazy. But I've picked out 4 excellent books. Any of them would be a great choice. And I'm going to read you a preview of each so that you can make a decision about which you would like to cast your vote for. The first book is The Egypt Game by Zilpha Keatley Snyder. The first time Melanie Ross meets April Hall, she's not sure they'll have anything in common. But she soon discovers that they both love anything to do with ancient Egypt. When they stumble upon a deserted storage yard behind the A to Z Antiques and Curio shop, Melanie and April decide it's the perfect spot for the Egypt game. Before long, there are 6 Egyptians instead of 2. After school and on weekends, they all meet to wear costumes, hold ceremonies, and work on their secret code. Everyone thinks it's just a game, until strange things begin happening to the players. Has the Egypt game gone too far? Alright, so this is a bit of a suspense, and it also has a lot of humor in it. And of course, there's a connection to ancient Egypt that we studied. The second book is Misty of Chincoteague, and Chincoteague is a small island near where I grew up. It's off the coast of Maryland and Virginia. For years, Paul and Maureen have raised ponies on their grandfather's farm, only to watch them be sold to some stranger as soon as they're grown. They can't take it anymore. They need a horse of their own. So when Paul gets a chance to herd wild horses on Assateague Island with the other villagers on Pony Penny Day, he jumps at it. Paul has only one horse in mind, though, the wildest horse on the island, the Phantom. People say that he's crazy, that the Phantom is too wild to be caught. Yet when Paul gets to the island, he rides straight into Phantom. But what's that right next to her? It's a beautiful silvery gray colt. The mighty Phantom has a son, Misty. But can Paul hold on to both of them? So the pony penning is something that happens every year where the ponies swim across to the island and then people purchase them to have them in their yards or on their farms. It's a very rural area, so this one is set very close to where I grew up. The next option, number 3, is Pippi Longstockings. This beloved story of a spunky young girl and her hilarious escapades is about Tommy and his sister Annika, who have a new neighbor, and her name is Pippi Longstocking. She has crazy red pigtails, no parents to tell her what to do, a horse that lives on her porch, and a pet monkey named Mr. Nilsson. Whether Pippi's scrubbing her floors, doing arithmetic, or stirring things up at a fancy tea party, her flair for the outrageous always seems to lead to another adventure. This one is a little bit of a humorous book. And then our last one of my absolute favorites, Mrs. Pigglewiggle. Everyone loves Mrs. Pigglewiggle. She lives in an upside-down house and smells like cookies. She was even married to a pirate once. Most of all, she knows everything about children. She can cure them of any ailment. Patsy hates baths. Robert never puts anything away. Alan eats very slowly. Mrs. Pigglewiggle has a treatment for all of them. So this one is quite humorous, and if you've ever read or watched the movie of, oh goodness, what is the one I'm thinking of? She has an umbrella. Mary Poppins, that's what I was thinking of. It's a little bit similar to that, but yeah, kind of whimsical and silly. So in review, vote for The Egypt Game, number 1, or Misty of Chincoteague, number 2, Pippi Longstockings, number 3, or Mrs. Pigglewiggle, number 4. And whichever book gets the most votes, we will begin by video next week for our read aloud. All right, I can't wait to see what you vote for.